This word compass, it comes from um, to pass means to walk or to pace out, and originally compasses were used on maps, and they looked a bit like the sort of things that you may have in your pencil case to draw circles. But the interesting thing is that these didn't have a pencil on the end. It just had two spikes, and that meant that you could walk them over a map. So if you measured this out to be something like 1 mile, and you wanted to work out how many miles it was to this point here, then you would walk it. So that point here you would put to here, and then you'd spin that around to here, and then spin that around to here, and spin that around to here, and spin that around to here, and then you'd say, right, how many walks did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from this point to this point was 5 miles, and you'd work that out using a pair of compasses. But in this context, compass bearings, that's more of the north, south, east, and west thing, which you would see like this. It's got north, south, east, and west. And the way that you can remember this is never eat shredded wheat is the way I remember it. It goes clockwise around from north. You may have your own way of remembering that. But you need to know what they are and which direction they are in order to work out compass bearings. So in the north direction, further around clockwise direction, you've got northeast, then east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, and north. If you had a bearing in between these two, you may guess that it's between these two. You would call it north, north, east. So that's what you would call that bearing. Now bearings they have a few different things you have to remember. The first thing is that they're always 3 digits. Now what do I mean by that? If you work out this angle here, actually it's easy to work out that angle. That angle is 45 degrees. But you wouldn't ever write 45 degrees, you'd write 045 degrees. So it always has to have 3 digits. The second thing is that it goes clockwise from north. So from north, clockwise around to the point that you're looking at. So if I wanted to work out the bearing of west, I would not go this way. I would work that angle out there. So the bearing of west is actually 270 degrees. So let's have a look at our example at the bottom here. It says a boat sails for 500 miles on a bearing of 070. Before I start reading any further, I'm going to start sketching this. So I've got a boat. Here's my boat, and it sails for 500 miles on a bearing of 70 degrees. So first of all, I have to draw a north line, and then 70 degrees I go clockwise to get to 70 degrees. So that's 70 degrees there. As a bearing, it's going to have 070, and it's gone 500 miles. So I'll draw this maybe at 5 centimeters, but I'd have to write here 1 centimeter represents 100 miles. This is a scale, so I need to do that. And then it sails a further 700 miles on a bearing of 200 degrees. So from here, I've got to work out my bearing of 200 degrees. I draw my north line, which has to be parallel, of course, and then I go clockwise around to 200 degrees, which is here, roughly. And then that goes 700 miles, or 7 centimeters, to here. Find the distance of the boat from its starting point and measure the bearing it would have taken to get here. So that means I've got to work out that length, and I could use a ruler, work it out in centimeters and times it by 100, so I could do that. And then it says find the distance of find the bearing that it would have taken to get it straight here. So it's straight here from the original point, from that point to here. I've got to find that bearing, and that would be the angle from here all the way to the dotted line, which looks like it should be about 150 degrees, 160 degrees, something like that. And that's already 3 digits. So have a go at the examples. There we go, that's the bold line of truth. Give it a shot.